It's a weekend, and I've got the day to myself this weekend. Brilliant. It means I can spend the whole day playing with boats and camper vans, so that's great. So first thing is, I've got the Seahopper still out in the garage. So I flipped her over, just had a little look at the hull, and you can see there is a little bit of wear. She tends to get the brunt of her wear on the middle of the hull. It's probably because, you know, the shape of it, that's the lowest point. And there's likewise a little bit of wear on here. The skeg has got quite a bit of wear as well. I don't know how that's happened. That's took a real chunk out the skeg there. I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. That'll need sorting. And these are still stuck down. I thought actually this was coming off. This was the little panel that I restuck. But actually it's this one that maybe wobbles a bit, but they look okay. So we will get a little bit of paint on there, maybe a bit of primer, then the black paint, because it dries so quick and we can just get that done, and it'd be lovely just to keep that honest. There's a little bit of wood showing through on some of this damage, so we need to get that sorted. Other thing is the motor outboard holder or trolley, which has been brilliant, just needs a little brace here because it's a bit wobbly down the bottom, so when you sort of hit a little stone it'll kind of wobble and this will move and you'll hear the screws crack a little bit, so it needs a brace at the bottom. And at the same time I might even put a little bucket holder on there just so we can give this a little run, just check it's all okay. So I've found this little piece of wood. I'm just going to brace this here like this, so I'm just going to mark that off here so it's nice, and so we can put screws in, down and into here as well. It'll be a really good brace. So that needs sawing. Space is at a major premium, as you can tell at the moment. I'm hoping I can find a way just to saw that like this. That will do. Okay, that's one way to do it. Now I need to screw that on. There it is, finished. So if you look from the side there, this is the brace, so now that's really lovely. And I just screwed this, I just had this extra, so I screwed this in here because then that would be a flat base to put like a bucket on. So all I've got to do now is get some little blocks or whatever, just make that higher, put a bucket of water in here. If you take the propeller off, you can test the engine out then, or flush it out. I did buy some muffs for this, but they just don't fit. They're way too big. I've since been told that flush muffs for two-strokes, they kind of don't really exist. So you take the propeller off and then you flush it without the propeller on. So that'll be something we need to do as well now. Just been touching up the bare wood that I'd got down to. Putting a little bit of boat primer on there. There's not much to do. It took me like literally 5 minutes to do. So we'll put another coat of that on and we'll be good to get some black overcoat top black paint on. So while I was doing some 3D printing, I just thought I'd edit the little hank clips that I've made for my jib. These have been really successful. You clip these on over the hanks and they keep the jib hanks on the shroud. Otherwise, sometimes in really windy weather, when you just release your jib halyard, the jib can flap and they just come off. And they've been really successful actually. But what I thought I'd do, I'll make this little addition here. So originally, if we look at the top view, the hanks just came round like this. And this area wasn't here. I've just added this area, and what this is designed to do is take the jib downhaul and just to tidy it up so it will pass through these jib hanks. Now it may pull the hanks clips off the hanks, it might do, but hey, for the sake of having a test, let's give it a go. One thing I just haven't done is just to take the edges off here. We'll do a 1mm edge, just so it's less likely the line will go in there. It's a 6mm hole for a 3mm line, so should be fine. And I've actually got one being set for print here. It'd be 15 minutes, that'll be printed. I'll try it with the line, and then if it seems to work, then I'll print 6 or 7 off and we'll take them down to the boat on Thursday. So I got my new jib hank with the hole in it printed off, and this is the line I'm using for the halyard. It's 3mm 9 polyester nylon. I don't know. I just want to see if it fits through that hole nicely. And the answer to that is no, it doesn't. So yeah, this hole needs to be bigger. I'm glad I tested it. Might be because of this. There's a little bit of melted nylon on the end of there. Let's see if we can just chop a bit of that off. Okay, it frays very easily, this rope. So there we go, there it is. Yeah, that doesn't go freely as I'd like it. So I'm going to print another one of these off with a bigger hole. Right, that's the beauty of 3D printers, is 15 minutes later and I've got a new iteration. So the left one on the left has got the bigger hole, and that most certainly allows the line, and it doesn't need to be tight, in fact it needs to be nice and loose, and that'll let that line go through. It'll also allow me, if there is an emergency or something, it'll probably allow a thicker rope to go through, and it hasn't really made an awful lot of difference to the size. And actually these will serve as little handles to pull the clips on and off. So I'm going to print 7 of those, 7 or 8 of those, so I've got some spare, and we'll test them when we get down to the boat on Thursday. Hello, I thought I've got my latest delivery from Trident, which is a brilliant place to get stuff for mirror dinghies. So I thought I might share with you. There's a thank you note. I might share with you what I got. Sometimes I wonder if I spend a bit too much on chandlery, but actually you can buy loads of stuff and it only ever costs you like 50 quid. I think that's nothing. So first things first, I got some, well actually this is interesting, I got some new, I think they're called Clevis pin. Always need these, always running out of those or losing them. And then I got some more fair leads. So this is so I can direct my line. I got that style. I also got this style. I'm going to direct my jib downhaul around the gunnel of the ship, I think. And the reason for that is if I put it down the middle, I've got plans for putting some kind of anchor lock on the middle there, or even my little outboard motor just to rest it on the front of the boat. So I can't really have a line going under there unless I obviously made a channel, but that would make things more difficult. So that's for that. I think these, you always need little fair leads. So they're always interesting. Now, I bought these, and these are to make lazy jacks. So there's a really great plan I found online to make some basic lazy jacks. And I think I can get lazy jacks to work with the way I'm going to reef my mirror dinghy. I'm going to leave that for a whole new other video. But these are called ring eyelets. They've got like enormous strength, like up to 1,200 kilos of strength. And I'm just going to use them to make a very basic set of lazy jacks. We'll come to that when we come to it. What else did we get in here? Oh yeah, some Compass original varnish. Yeah, if you've got anything wood in boating, then you get through varnish like Billio. I've got now this is a downhaul for the mainsail of a Wayfarer. But the way I'm going to reef my boat, my mirror, means that if I bought the mirror one, which is, I think it's the same kind of rope, but it's just shorter. So this is just a bit longer. It's the standard Wayfarer as described, as specified on their site. I didn't want the race one, the Dyneema one. I really don't need it. So this is going to be for the mainsail halyard, which currently, obviously, we don't have. It's tied permanently at the top of the gaff, and you just kind of lower the gaff. But when you reef things, I want the ability to bring my mainsail up and down. So again, watch this space. We're going to do a nice video on that. And also, I got some fenders. So I got 4 of these actually. I think they are inflatable fenders. Yeah, they've got a little inflator cap. And yeah, I've noticed that, to be honest with you, when I'm cruising on the Seahopper, I actually need these. I've got one old one on the Seahopper, but you need a couple more. So I've got 4 of these in total. So I can, use them on the boat, stop damaging my boat. I did actually buy something else off eBay, which is up here, which are these sheets. They're sort of stick-on Dacron, and someone's told me, rather than using the sailing tape, which I've got up here, so I bought this off a Sailmaker sail tape. It does seem a little bit sort of slim, really. So this I'm going to hopefully stick on the sail in diamonds, and then the clue and the tack of the sail, or the new clue in the tack of the sail when you reef. And hopefully this will give it some strength if I stick this and then sew it both sides. Got to find some eyelets though. I can't seem to find stainless steel eyelets. I've got these eyelets that I bought off Amazon, which are perfect, but apparently they rust. In fact, I need to keep one outside. But anyway, to see for myself. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Latest little purchases. So that is one Seahopper, bottom of the hull, completely repainted. Not the hull completely repainted, but I painted all the bits that I needed to. You can just see here where it's glistening away, it's still wet. But that looks brilliant. Ready to go. The beauty of this will be that I think last year when I painted the boat, I painted it and then I kind of used it almost straight away. Then what I realised was how the paint hardens over sort of, almost like a month after you've painted it. So when you feel the paint now, it feels really tough and hard. Whereas when I was using it originally, I think a lot of that paint came off, not through knocks and bangs, but perhaps it was a little bit soft. So we're going to give this boat, it's going to get at least 2 to 3 weeks drying time, and hopefully that way the paint will be a lot harder. But we've pretty much done everything we need to do to the Seahopper. The only thing I've got to do is varnish the little flagpole, and yeah, we've got to work out where we're going to put some new cleats, things like that. But I've got a video on that with the mirror as well. So I think once we've done that, I think the boat will be good to go.